them. And some of them will be from when we were called Anywhere on Wheels, because we were primarily focusing on mobility impaired. Since then, we've expanded our horizons and we're now accessible Globe TV, and we are happy to be that. Today, we are going to look at our very first spin episode, which was all about travelling in Thailand and one particular resort owned by a person with a disability, Kunut, and the place was called Damnoen Care Resort, a wonderful, wonderful place designed for people with mobility impairment, and right in the middle of really almost rural Thailand, so it's not really very touristy. It's a wonderful spot. We're going to have a look at that shortly. Before we do, let's thank some of our sponsors. Hello World Travel in Hervey Bay. Of course, Simple Solutions have been wonderful. They do a lot of NDIS training and NDIS support services. Totally Mobile, who are a wonderful equipment provider. And Oh My, and you've never heard of them, but you will soon as we tell you about their new smart home packages. And of course, we'd like to thank the NDIS, who through my funding, through my plan, are helping to produce these programs. So without any further ado, let's have a look at our very first spin episode, which was originally under Anywhere on Wheels in Damnoen Care Resort in Thailand. Good evening and welcome to the very, very first program of The Spin. We expected to do it about a century ago, but we are finally getting underway today, and we have got a great show, I hope, for you. And as usual, the things I do, we're not doing it in a studio the easy way. We're doing it live at Damnoen Care Resort. And I've got lots of people with me. Jackie's beside me.
Hi.
Hello, Jackie. We'll talk about to her in a moment. She's got a business, a holiday business in France called I Need a Holiday Too. If we go to all of us so we can see everybody here. We've got Susie over here. I'm going to point, Susie. I know it's very rude.
Hello.
Susie's currently on a bit of a tour with Jackie with us. And we've got Jackie, of course. Oh, he's pretty good on that button, isn't he, for a first time? And over here is one of the... Nope, that way.
Oh.
I don't know. This man here is Kunut, and he is a Thai gentleman, and he owns this resort and many other businesses, maybe half of Thailand, I don't know, but he is a wonderful man for people with mobility impairment. This is his resort, and we'll tell you a little bit about that now. This, I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Kunut, this was the land of your parents originally.
Yeah, my family.
Yep,
Yeah.
and when Kunut was just a young man, like all young men, he just wanted to leave here and go to Bangkok,
Want to live out there.
have some fun,
Yeah,
forget the parents,
yeah,
and just enjoy.
yeah,
And he made a success of himself through a lot of hard work. He didn't just get anything given to him. He worked exceptionally hard as a person with disability, and he made an empire, really. He has a business that imports chairs. He's got a printing business. He's got what do you got? A telephone answering.
packaging.
Yeah, and the packaging is what's here. So what he did,
Call center.
and a call center, and the call center is mostly
Yeah,
handicapped people as well.
yeah,
And it's not that he just gives them a job. Above the call center, they all have their own apartment, so they've got a place to live.
yeah,
Because Kunut believes that it's not just a job they need, but a good life, correct?
yeah.
And so what he did when his parents gave him the land or whatever, he thought, what can I do for the local people? And he came back here and he thought, I don't want to start another printing business because that's sort of going down a little bit with all the internet and all that stuff. So he said, but packaging, everybody needs packaging. So you bought a machine for what, $8,000 or something?
Yeah, from Japan.
Did you know anything about packaging?
Yeah.
Not much. You learned quickly.
Yeah, learn.
And now...
Just start from the second hand from the bank.
Yeah. Oh, really?
To learn.
Second hand, yeah, to learning.
Learning by doing.
Learning by doing. And then how long before you got more machinery? And
About 8 months.
8 months?
And after all the machine, the inline machine come automatic.
Okay. And a lot of the people that work there are in wheelchairs and handicapped?
Yeah, yeah.
How many do you know?
My the business about the 6 company, and the big company about the 27 wheelchair.
That's amazing. That's great. And of course he built this resort, which is purpose-built for people with mobility impairment. And before we talk to him a bit more about it, we'll just talk to these other people over here. We'll get everybody at once. I hope. Carl's frantically looking at the button. There you go, Carl. Thanks, mate. So this is a place you didn't expect, isn't it, Jack?
Absolutely. You expect this in Western Europe, the United States, somewhere like that, maybe England.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. But it's far exceeded our expectations.
And what about you, Susie? I mean,
it's just amazing, mind-blowing, the fact that I can move around in my chair or on my frame and not have to worry
can we
about...
have Susie?
Oh, sorry, can you?
There you go. Yep, go on.
Not have to worry about, can I get in the toilet, can I get, in the doorway? Just be freedom.
Not just the toilet. What were you in today?
I was in a speedboat, and I was in a house to get me in the speedboat, and then we went on a motorbike.
And a motor. And did the speedboat go fast?
Oh yes, we decided the fast was fast.
Were you and I worried about that in the beginning, Jackie?
No, you don't need to worry.
I was scared out of my wits, but Susie went anyway.
No.
And then she decided to drive the motorbike, Kunut,
Yeah.
and she said, I haven't had my license for 10 years. I thought Kev was very brave to get on the thing with her. But anyway, he did get on it, and she had a lot of fun. Now, we don't have a lot of footage of that on today's show, but these two lovely ladies will be with us next week when we do the show, and we will show you the footage from everything we did.
And I promise you, we didn't crash. Well, we nearly did, but
it didn't matter.
I don't need to know.
I can't say that joke. It'll be politically incorrect, and I can't do that on the first episode, can I? But as Susie and I said, we're already disabled. What's the matter?
exactly, it can't get any worse.
As well, probably could.
Unless you walk on water.
So these are the sorts of things you can do at Damnoen Care. I'm gonna let Carl went for a bit of a walk through there. So if you think it's all craziness, we might just have a little bit of a look at, and we'll keep the mics on, and we're just going to have a little bit of a look through some of the resort. It's so. We came from Thailand, didn't we, guys? And it was pretty crazy.
Bangkok.
Yeah, well, they're all in Thailand.
All in Thailand.
Nothing wrong with me.
Surprisingly.
But this is very different to Bangkok, isn't it?
It is very...
This is how I expected it
yeah,
to be, Thailand.
It is countryside. It is countryside, which is lovely. And it's real Thailand.
Real Thailand. That's about right, isn't it? I mean, and even though we're doing all these crazy things, there's plenty of time to relax.
Oh, absolutely.
And just sort of...
all the rooms are air conditioned. They're all accessible. The bathrooms are accessible. Yeah,
Right.
brilliant.
So we're just coming up the path here. I love... When you first come in here, you think this is ridiculous. It's like a jungle.
Yeah.
It's like living in the jungle.
It is.
And then you get to the canal or klong, and there's all families living on either side of the river. Mm-hmm. And Kunut has a wonderful riverboat that takes you to the floating markets. Unfortunately, it was under repair this time,
Yes,
first
it
time,
was,
but he made up for it by putting you in boats at the floating market.
Absolutely.
And it's a really big riverboat. There's Kev wandering around aimlessly, like I said before, looking for a map. He's a director of Anywhere on Wheels. And, you can get on these boats and go everywhere. We get on the same boat usually and go up to the local Buddhist temple, which we went to today.
We did. It was very good.
And it was a lot of fun. And we'll just keep going till we get towards the gate. I'll tell you when we can stop, Carl, and we'll have a talk to Kunut about why he did this, because it's quite amazing.
I think it's important.
It is. I want to know.
Yeah.
He's never told me. No,
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's amazing.
So what you can see on the left of the screen now is the restaurant where we all go and get something to eat. There's the welcome mushrooms, as I call them. There's so many different things here to look at. Animals and stone animals and all sorts of different things. And this is just the first stage of the resort. We'll go out of that, come back to... Now, Kunut, why did you do this? What made you do this? Why did you build a resort like this?
When I go to outside, I go to European with my group, handicap group.
Yep.
But the hotel can support only 2 rooms or 4 rooms.
2 rooms or 4.
Yeah.
And that's the same in
Yeah.
most places in the world,
Yeah.
I think.
It is.
Yep. So,
Same the law in the Thailand. same.
Yeah, just 1 or 2
Yeah.
rooms. Yes.
But when I come back to my hometown, I think I want to some activity for my hometown, and I want to make the resort can support the handicap 10 room, 11 room or something.
And now you've got another 10 coming on the other side,
Yeah,
and you're building more apartments after
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you're really happy with what you've
Yeah,
done.
when I saw it, have the family with the handicap come, I really happy.
Yeah.
My heart very proud. Oh, really good
Yep.
feeling. Yet not money, but very happiness.
Clearly not money. It
Yeah,
must have
yeah.
cost you a lot of money
Yeah,
to build.
Yeah, no.
So we need you all to come and support Kunut's
Yeah.
resort so that he can build more, so that he can put all that money and build more. And you're even considering, when things go well, to buy another resort at some point, maybe Chiang Mai or somewhere like that. And
Maybe the business for the resort is a success.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you'll expand to
Yeah,
other
yeah,
resorts,
to Chiang Mai.
which is really good. And you've just picked up a new bus, which
Yeah.
will show people, and that's what is maybe,
Yeah.
and 20 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you come on one of our tours, or if you come as a family, we've got all sorts of options. We've got small vans that you can just hire and get a driver. If you want to come as a bigger group, you better come with us, because otherwise I'll be really disappointed. But if you don't, you can still get a bus. And Kunut, I promise you, will look after you and pretty much do anything he can to make your holiday, your vacation, a success and wonderful. And speaking of the holiday, I'm going to just let you know a little bit about what we do with our Thailand holiday and show you. I'm giving Carl a chance to find the right button. Our last tour and a little bit about how that went. But that's the bit you've already done.
That is, and really good.
And-
Everything was really good.
And later on we might show you some of what you might be doing
I
shortly,
can't wait.
which would be really good. Yes, so Kunut, we love what you've done here. We think it's amazing. We think you're amazing. And we want to bring many more people here,
Oh, really?
because you are an amazing man,
Thank you.
and we want to do everything we can to help you, and we want to thank you for everything you've done for us so far. We can even give him a clap, because he deserves one. He's one of 2 Thailand people that I've met that are just so dedicated to changing Thailand and its accessibility. The other one is Kun Krishna, who was in that clip, and he will be involved in the show in the future too. He was a celebrity before his accident, and then became disabled, and he is just as famous now, even more so, because of his disability. Everybody looks after him, everybody looks up to him. He's become a very influential change for Thailand with his product, or his product called Friendly Design, which is all about making all of Thailand friendly, not just for wheelchairs, but for pregnant ladies with prams, the elderly, because Thailand has a big focus on the elderly. Yes, so we'll introduce you to more of what he does. But because I'm rambling on a bit, what we might do is show you the first time I went on the boat that Susie went on today, and trust me, I was a little nervous when it happened, we'll just show you a little bit about that, and next week we'll show you Susie in the boat. So let's have a look at that now, Carl. If anything happens to me, can you do the same? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Are you driving?
Yes, you died. You can.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Charlie, how you feel?
Brilliant, yeah.
Give us a thumbs up, Charlie.
Yeah, look in the camera and tell us how you're feeling, Charlie.
A bit like Mr. Campbell just before he did his
Donald Campbell.
Donald Campbell, yeah.
I'm just going
Are you
before
a
going
little
to the top of it for a minute to tell you that I was
Well,
smiling
I don't do this
because
every
I
day.
hadn't yet realised I was getting in next.
Let's just say it's
Like I said, we'll look after your wife if anything happens.
Yeah, that's
You'll be
the main
right,
thing,
mate.
yeah.
You'll be good.
Okay.
So me?
Yeah, you can come in
He's
next.
driving, and I'm getting in.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
Sorry about my ass, Charlie, but there you go. You okay? You okay?
Cho anh trong một nữa đi.
Now this leg, I cannot.
Hả? Dạ khi nào?
There we go.
Okay, there, Rod.
I don't know where I'm going at the minute.
In the water.
It's not that.
In the water. In the water. Whoa, here we go. Someone here?
Yeah, you come.
Yeah, you're coming.
Yeah,
Hey.
you come in.
Dạ khi nào?
You've got to do something.
Oh, yeah.
Ồ, đấy hả?
You think you're here for fun?
Well, I'm not going to have. I can't watch that any. I can't watch that much more. I think you saw the look of terror on my face.
It did.
The difference with Susie is she had a look of excitement on her face. Mine was more terror. But it was something I'm really glad I did. That's an amazing thing, Kunut, the speedboat, that you give people a chance to go in that. And that's a traditional Thai boat with the big engine on the back, but very fast.
Yeah. This is original.
Original boat?
Yes, in the past.
Yeah, so it's the traditional boat.
Yes.
And everybody used it to go to the market and get around, that kind of
About
thing.
40 years ago.
About 40 years ago.
Yes, no the road.
Oh, no roads,
Yeah,
really?
and only canoe. And every person use the boat. And this one is a speedboat. Sometimes the people want to very fast, very.
The ambulance.
Yes.
The ambulance and police cars.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Same, yeah?
Yes.
And still, when people come here, they can look across the canal of the Klong and see families and everybody's still living here.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's still very busy. Maybe not busy like before, but still very busy.
Yeah.
The butcher comes past with all the meat on,
Yeah.
and the grocer.
You
and
have the mini, same the car.
Same the car, yep.
The speedboat, this one is the Thailand one is the 2 ton. 2 ton is the same the sport car.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Same as Ferrari or something.
Ah,
And he
okay.
have a big boat for the truck, same the truck.
Okay, same the truck.
Yeah,
Yep,
have the same, have the taxi, and many.
Many things.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
ice
many
cream,
shapes,
the ice
yeah.
cream van,
Yeah, ice cream, same the
like Mr. Wood.
sailing boat, yeah.
And if you get up nice and early in the morning, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, you can see the monks,
Yeah.
and they come up the canal, and the people give them some food or maybe a little bit of money, and they give the blessings, and,
Yeah.
and it's really lovely.
This one is for monk for the boat, very old culture.
Old culture.
Yeah.
Yes, old culture. Well, you know, it's amazing. I've been here many times now. I'm going to rename room 1 Rod's room, okay? Because it's my favourite. And every time I come here, it's still exciting and still relaxing. Never get tired. Always good. So it's wonderful. I'm just going to ask some of the other guys a couple of things. Just before we talk to you, Jackie, about what you do, one of the ideas on the panel is to talk to people about what they think about certain things. And one of my questions has been, when you go into a shopping centre or something, and a child is staring at you and their mother says, "Stop it, don't look at that," and the kid sort of goes mad at the child, how do you think that should happen? What do you feel about that?
I think from me personally, I think that's absolutely fine. I don't think the mother should be telling the child off or anything like that, because the child needs to learn, and the child needs to accept that there are people that are different within the world, and once they're aware and once they've got that appreciation, then they won't stare.
And what about you, Susan?
It's a learning curve for everybody. Everybody's different, so you know, maybe stared when I was little, but you grow up with it, and
Well, we are different.
Yeah.
We are different.
We are very different.
Can you the same Thailand when you're disabled and the little children they're looking at you, you know, just because you look different, and the mother goes, "Oh, stop."
Yeah.
You don't mind if the little children look, it's okay, yes, because they're learning.
Yeah.
You know, once many years ago when I was still walking a lot more, when I walk, I don't feel like I walk like a disabled person. I feel like I just walk.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody in the window reflection, and I thought, oh, that poor person. And it was me. And I stared at myself, you know, seriously. So if I can look at myself and stare, why shouldn't children?
Yeah.
Because I think, this is my opinion, when mothers go mad at them, or fathers or relatives or whatever, it teaches them to be a little nervous of us.
Nervous, scared, you're different.
Yeah.
Teach-
And
talk to you differently, maybe.
yeah, or be just frightened to ask questions, you know, things like that. So we agree. Some people don't agree with us, other people I've talked to, but you agree with most of that, Susie?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So now, that's the idea of the spin. We want to ask questions like that, and we put our spin or our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So that's question number 1. Now we want to talk to you about your business, and we'll show you more about that next week, but I Need a Holiday Too, it's called, right?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It was born out of a necessity for good quality, accessible holiday accommodation, which I didn't think we were offering in either the UK or maybe mainland Europe. And I actually had a road traffic accident several years ago, in 1995. Ended up using a wheelchair for 8 odd years.
You're walking now, which is
I
amazing.
am walking now, so I'm a retired disabled person.
Retired.
Yeah, I'm retired, basically I went on 2 accessible holidays. Neither of them were accessible for me in the bathroom, basically. So it was me and my bucket became best friends.
Yep.
You know, and I had a paddling pool in one.
I've had a few bucket
paddling
friends.
pool,
Yeah.
and a garden chair in one to have a shower, and yeah, I had to pee in a bucket.
And the thing is, once people do go on a holiday, I mean, the mainstream travel industry does not understand the potential for profit that they have with people with disabilities, you know. There's a lot of money that, first of all, many disabled people, not all, have got some sort of payout.
Yeah.
So they have
There is
money.
a lot, yeah.
They're not working, so they've got 365 days a year to travel. They don't have to wait for 4 weeks off. They travel one time, they find a really impossible situation, and they go, I'm never doing that again. And they stay home and they buy a bigger television or another computer. But really, they want to get out and see the world. Do you agree, Susie?
Oh yes, I want to travel the world. Don't
You know,
like being in four walls.
And it's a shame that more things like Damnoen Care don't exist, so people can travel with confidence. So us at Anywhere on Wheels, we've got a rating system. Krishna does ratings. You do ratings. And if we get the right companies forming an alliance, which we're basically doing, we hope to be able to encourage people to live their lives and be happy. That would be right, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I think historically the accessible travel industry has got a horrendous reputation, shall we say, but that is not necessarily true nowadays. And I think disabled people, firstly with the openness of the internet, has just made the world a much smaller place, and people do want to go on holiday.
I do too.
You know, it doesn't matter whether it's Spain or Thailand or India or wherever. They want to travel the same as anybody else can travel.
And do it with confidence.
And do it with confidence. And if you're offering, whether it be supported holidays with care, or whether it's just accessible accommodation, you know, do it.
So if people want to travel in France, and if they're lucky enough to become really friendly with you, they get the 4 kisses, not the 2.
They do get the 4 kisses.
Which I'm aiming for by the end of this trip, by the way. I'm working very, very hard at it. So you do the French stuff, and do you do your England as well?
Yeah, we've got England. We're going to be putting Thailand on.
That'll be wonderful.
Future.
Our other people we're working a little bit with in England is, what's the name of the place? I know it really well. Angus.
Oh, Limitless Travel.
Limitless, and he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And I trust him. So the idea is to have people that you trust,
Yes.
and that's what we're all about here.
Yeah.
And Kunut we trust. He's got Thailand worked out, so we want to build a base where everybody can sort of get around and travel. And the other thing that I've found is often elderly people, or more elderly, that's probably another
Older, shall we say.
politically incorrect thing, are a bit nervous about booking with online travel companies that are small and unknown. So at Anywhere on Wheels, we're putting a lot of our bookings through a mainline travel agency, so that they can feel confident that their money's going somewhere that it's not going to disappear on it. You know, I'm not going to go and have a good time and whatever. And in Australia, we have a sponsor. They're called Hello World, and they're getting slowly behind doing the holidays with us, because they realise that they can't do them. So they're better off as a travel company to get some of this money by actually, helping us, and we help them. And because of that, we have to play an ad from them. Hello World Travel Harvey Bay is Anywhere on Wheels' preferred travel agent in Australia. Call Joe and the gang and they'll fix you up with a great deal. Book with the knowledge that you're booking with Australia's largest travel agency group. Remember, with Anywhere on Wheels and Hello World Travel, you're never alone. There you go. Hello World Travel, they've been really good. We're going to go back and show you a little bit more of our last tour while we change some personnel at the table, which is going to be really interesting. Everything could end up on the floor here. So we'll go back to the tour, and hopefully it'll start where we left off and not back at the beginning. Let's hope it works. And this place is acres and acres of miniature monuments from all around Thailand and all around the world.
have needs. You will succeed if you dream, plan and try. Put those barriers aside and give life a go. Trust yourself and flow.
I have enjoyed immensely, but I'll tell you what, I would never have come to Thailand without having come on a group like this.
Everyone helps out and helps with everyone really, and I've helped other people, they've helped with me, so it gives you a bit of a break and you get to meet new people as well.
I don't want to go home.
You just don't know what to expect when you come out, but you don't know who you're going to be with, you don't know what you're going to be doing, and actually it's a really great gang of people and we've done a lot of really exciting things, so done a lot more than what I thought.
So we brought Nev in. G'day, Nev.
There you go, mate.
We won't be able to hear you speak so softly.
Right.
You do. And Nev's an Aussie, you can tell that.
Is that
by the voice.
Half an Aussie.
Well, you've said it, so you can tell them why you're half an Aussie. You can explain.
Yeah, one arm and one leg.
You know how people say get a load off? Well, Neville got a load on and took half the body, right, Nev?
Yeah, load on all right.
And that was the end of that. So he copes well by social drinking and enjoying life.
Well, we've got to enjoy life.
That's right. So, did you enjoy Thailand so far? Do you like it?
I've been here 3 years, so I enjoy it.
And it's relatively accessible in an inaccessible. Like people think it's very inaccessible. It's not. You can make it work, can't you?
You can make it work. You just have to look around and see what you're doing.
Yeah. And on our tours, it's very accessible. Everything we
on the tours is good. If you're living by yourself somewhere, you have to think about where you go and what you do.
Yes, that's about right. Now the second question I have, we're going to get you in again next week because we didn't get a lot of you. The second question I have is about shopping. You go shopping much, Susie?
I do.
Now, actually I know that. What a stupid question to ask. I've seen you buy everything. I'm surprised you haven't bought.
I need to buy a new case to go home with.
I think you need to buy 2 new cases. What do you think, Jackie?
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Can you increase my baggage allowance, please?
You'll have to talk to the tourism minister about it.
No, thank you.
Look, in the UK, they just had a thing called Purple Tuesday or something, and it was all about the first day concentrating on shopping for people with disability, and they come to the stunning realisation that they were losing sales because they didn't have the right accessibility. But I'm not the most politically correct person in the world, and I think there's 2 sides to it. First of all, what about you, Nev? You shop mostly not online, you shop in stores, don't you?
Oh, I shop in stores as much as I can, yeah.
Yeah, rather than online?
Well, I don't like computers.
There you go. And what about you? Online?
No, I do shops.
So there you go. Now, my question is, if a shop is trying to stay afloat in this world where there's a lot of online shopping and that sort of thing now, and it gets to say Christmas and their aisles that should be accessible are a little bit blocked up because they're trying to maximise Christmas or whatever, do you think we should complain, or do you think we should cut them some slack because they're trying to stay alive? You know, how do you feel about shopping?
Prime example being one of my local shops. The manager actually came up to me because there was a lot of things in various aisles, and he said, just let us know what we can move to let you access whatever you need.
That's very good.
Which I thought was really good because he didn't have to do that. Yeah. I could have gone around the houses, as it were, but...
I love JBs, and I went to my local JBs and it kept getting thinner and thinner, and I said, if you don't fix it shortly, I'm going to make some really, really wonderful items for your scratch and dent sale. And I said, I'm happy to help with that. So what about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, the same thing, you go to shops in Australia, you can't get around because there's things in the road of the aisles, you got to look, you got to think of where you go all the time, what shop you can go to. Some you can access, some you can't. Your cheap shops you can't access. There's a lot of them, they just stick stuff in the aisles and don't want to move.
And like me, you may be different, but do you tend to patronise places that are accessible and even though you might be able to get into a place that's not accessible, avoid that in favour of the others, to reward them? In other words, reward people.
I prefer to reward someone who where I can go into a shop and
Yeah.
I can access.
Same with you, Susie?
Those that go the extra mile without making it obvious
Yeah.
is where I...
Kunut, in Thailand, many shops you cannot get in, you know,
Yes.
inaccessible.
Yes.
Is Kun Krishna and yourself, are you trying to change that and get shops to become more accessible?
Yeah.
And because sometimes, I think every 7-Eleven here, nearly every 7-Eleven, steps, you know?
Yeah.
And it's very...
Many shops.
Many shops.
Yeah.
And if you go to the service centre on the highway, there's maybe 20 disabled bathrooms, but you cannot get to many of the shops because they're up,
Yes.
you know. So how do you think we can change that? Do you think slowly it will change?
I think he in the social and in the organized handicap organized to try to put everything no step.
Yeah, it would be good if we can change things slowly.
But now okay, in the petroleum station, the bar total.
Yes.
Yeah, total. It had the shop inside.
Yes.
Had the 7, had the coffee shop.
Yeah, and sometimes
now,
the Amazon.
And Amazon.
Amazon
Now
cafe.
he promised to the Kun Kisana, he can make every station for.
And every single one of those I've ever gone into has a disabled bathroom that works. A good one.
Yeah.
You know.
PT
Now he the leader.
Yeah, PT.
Yeah, he the leader make it.
He's
Now
the
another make follow. Shell, Esso. Yeah.
Because they realise if they don't, they're losing customer.
Yes.
So
sure.
so we're from England, Australia, Thailand. We're all doing the same thing.
Yes.
We work together, and that's wonderful.
Now Thailand in the future, but not now, had the aging society, aging.
Yes.
Up.
Same in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. And we need to cater for those people, and wheelchair people and so on. And of course, we have a terrific it's like we're family. We have a terrific friendly design expo here in December.
Yes,
every December. Start in actually end of November.
In this December number 4.
And it goes to December number 4.
Yes.
And I've been to many expos in my life, and they're fun. You see things, but they're dull and they're pretty boring. The Friendly Design Expo in Thailand, there's dancing, there's singing, there's joking, there's government ministers. Everything is so much fun.
Same the
party, exactly. It should be the party expo. But it still has all the wonderful equipment as well. So, so that's fantastic. And that actually brings us to pretty much the end of our first program. And I want to thank Carl for frantically pushing buttons on the other side of the desk. I want to thank you, Kun for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my friend. And thank you for this resort, the boats, and everything you do. It's marvellous.
Yeah.
And you, Jackie, over there, I'm just being nice to you because I want a free stay in Brittany. But that's okay. No,
4 kisses.
Hey?
4 kisses.
4 kisses coming up, love. Don't worry about that. Susie, you said you almost cancelled this tour because you were having a hard time. Are you glad you didn't?
I'm so glad I didn't cancel it. Yeah, this is freedom beyond freedom. The chair's disappeared.
It is freedom here.
It is freedom, isn't it, Ned? And you feel it here, and you get treated well here by most people. And they help you more than most people in Australia.
There's more help here than what there is in Australia.
You know, and you and I, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just we become a big Thai, Australian, English family. It's kind of weird. So that's about it for the spin on our very first episode. We do apologise for the little glitches. We thank Kevin for holding the towel that's keeping the sun off my face because he's sweating like nothing. It's starting to drip into his glasses. Thanks, Kev. And we'll see you again next week on The Spin.
Thank you for watching that rebroadcast. That was a lot of fun. That was our first ever program, probably our most ambitious, really, and in some ways our most fun. Kunut is an amazing man there in Damnoen Care Resort, and he's active throughout the whole of Thailand. Susie has since won photography awards in England, and she takes some wonderful photographs. Jackie is still doing I Need a Holiday too, and just a lovely person, and you should go there and spend some time. Come with us. Neville? Well, Neville's Neville. Still brewing a bit of home brew every now and again, and a great guy to hang out with and just enjoy life with. You might have noticed the neighbour in the background going up and down the path, and that's his exercise every day. He goes up and down that little bit of path. But I think he might have been just a little bit curious on what we were doing as well. It was a great day. Our producer Carl, who's behind the buttons today, will tell you that we set up 3 times. I think it was 4 or 5 cameras, wasn't it, Carl? Yeah. And we got them set up and it started to rain. And then we take them down and we put them back up. And we took them down. We put them. It was a great day. It was a crazy day and we had so much fun. If you enjoyed it, don't forget we're going to do some more archive programs throughout the next few weeks. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube, our Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and we'll be starting off our Patreon soon. We really need you to help make Accessible Globe TV a success. As you noticed, that program was Anywhere on Wheels TV. As I said, originally we started off with a focus on mobility impairment, but now we are trying to encompass all areas of disability. So that's what the aim of Accessible Globe TV is. So thanks again to our sponsors. Thank you for watching. We've had a wonderful time bringing the rebroadcast of Damnoen Care Resort to you. Have I forgotten anything, Carl? No? All right. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.